This opportunity in the Vuna district is something that's really going to transform Lundin Mining to, hopefully a top 10 producer in the sector.
Hello, welcome to Money Moves. I'm Michael Hainsworth, and today I'm coming to you from the new home of the Lundin Group in the heart of downtown Vancouver. Lundin Mining is an industry titan like no other, thanks to the efforts of the late Lucas Lundin and his father before him. Today, his son Jack as president and CEO, brother Adam as chair, and the executive team is in charge of the company and its direction. And I've got the exclusive interview. So what lessons did Jack learn from his father? And what is he doing differently? And what's the outlook for copper, considering the Vuna giant district is so critical to feeding that insatiable demand for a commodity that's critical to global growth? Let's find out together.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Thanks so much. What does this office represent as the new headquarters?
It's part of a new beginning because we were able to relocate the head office of Lundin Mining from Toronto here to Vancouver. And so we can fit all of the mining companies within the Lundin Group here in Vancouver.
Plus, you're not fighting Toronto traffic.
That's right, yeah. The history of Lundin Mining, we started as an exploration vehicle, and then we bought into operations that had smaller scale, high grade, and mainly underground assets. But over time, as we grew and our access to capital and our ability to take on bigger assets became available to us, we started to position ourselves not only for value, but also volume. Now, with where Lundin Mining is today, after 30 years, we can chase both. We've got short, medium, and long-term growth opportunities.
Lundin Mining was founded in 1994 and has grown into a leading Canadian base metals producer with operations in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Portugal, Sweden, and the United States. Now, the company is shifting focus to the Vuna district. So where is all of this happening? Located high in the Andes Mountains along the Chile-Argentina border is a cornerstone of the Lundin Group's vision to build a world-class mining hub in this resource-rich region, the Vuna district. The district is home to 5 key assets held by Lundin Group companies, including the Caserones mine, now 70% owned by Lundin Mining, Filo del Sol, a 50-50 joint venture with BHP, and NGX Minerals Los Helados and Lunahuasi projects, which continue to reveal significant high-grade resources. Together with the Jose Maria project, a flagship copper-gold development, Vuna has the potential to become one of the world's biggest copper, gold, and silver mines ever to be developed and operated.
Lundin Mining is selling a mine in Portugal and another in Sweden to Boliden for an upfront payment of almost $1.4 billion US.
On December 9th, 2024, Lundin Mining announced the sale of its Neves Corvo mine in Portugal and Zinkgruvan mine in Sweden to Boliden for up to $1.5 billion. This strategic move of divesting in their European assets allows Lundin Mining to concentrate on its South American assets and the building of the Vuna district. The Lundin family has been a major force in mining for generations now. If there was one lesson, what's the toughest lesson your dad ever taught you?
To always stay positive and to never give up, really. As generic as that sounds, it's quite simple, but that's really the important thing. There's going to be challenges presented every day, and for us, we just need to make sure we're taking the calculated risks, but also understanding kind of when we need to push and when we need to pull back. But you can never achieve any of these things that we do without being positive all the way through.
What about the global commodity environment in which you find yourself? Is there a lesson to be learned here that you're applying every day?
I think that there's, in this current environment, a lot of uncertainty over, kind of the macroeconomic backdrop. I think the world just needs to maybe get a little bit more comfortable with 5% growth rather than 10% growth coming out of China. We believe in the medium to long term that base metal prices, particularly copper, are going to be strong and rising, and therefore we're positioning ourselves to take advantage of that belief. But what we see in the concentrate market, where we sell our product, there's a serious tightness in our sector, and I think that's making people uneasy because our clients specifically are trying to shore up and acquire long-term supply for our products. We've probably got the largest long-term growth opportunities as compared to any company of our size. What we're going to be looking at doing is driving value in the near term, in the medium term, and in the long term through all the assets that we continue to control today and through continuously seeking new opportunities going forward.
So what are you doing differently as you are now running this company compared to, say, maybe what your dad would have done?
We are in a complex industry as is. The amount of engineering work and de-risking and all these influencing factors into how we run our business, it can get quite complex. But the ingredient to be successful, I think, is quite simple. You want to go after good assets that can make money in the cyclical nature of our commodity industry. So prices are going to go up and they're going to go down on the product that we're selling. What we can control is our cost and our safety performance and overall efficiency of our operations. We need to set ourselves up so that we can be still relevant for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But if you have that long-term vision, then you're always wanting to ensure that you can create value in the near term. And what we're looking at always is the operational opportunities for our assets. So whether it be, from a technical standpoint, mine plan improvements or, implementing new technology, looking at kind of big data analysis and trying to bring in machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence to inform how we, drive decisions with our equipment, both mobile and fixed. All of that really lends to us kind of driving near-term value, but then also always looking at bringing costs down and increasing production. Each day, each second, we're generating so much information, and that information is only useful if you know how to process it to then drive action, right? And so, there's a lot of different things that you can do to, make minor adjustments that will overall kind of enhance kind of the overall recovery of the product. There's a lot of things, we're just getting kind of started on it, but I really think that over time we'll start to be, and we want to be one of the kind of leading entities in the mining sector for implementing artificial intelligence.
You must be so excited about Vuna. Am I even pronouncing it correctly?
You are, yeah, you pronounced it perfectly. But I couldn't be more excited about that for Lundin Mining and for the opportunity to build that district. It's been a long time coming to get to where we are today, but it's a very, very meaningful opportunity for both BHP, of course, but especially for Lundin Mining.
Strategic partnerships certainly critical for any organization, big or small.
Yeah, partnerships and forming the right type of partnership, creating a like-minded strategy with various companies that can bring different complementary skill sets to a joint venture like what we're creating in the Vicuña district is something that we feel is very important, and that will help with overall de-risking of the asset and ultimately get us closer to putting a development plan in place and going into the construction phase.
So this is where all the action happens.
Where a lot of it does. I mean, we're on the road a lot in our industry, so this is kind of my HQ, if you will, and place where I can come back from when I'm on a big trip and reset and meet with the team. And I'd love to be in the office here, as you've seen.
I got one question. You a fan of Kobe?
That's right, I am, yes. Mamba mentality. Kobe was, the star performer on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Bryant for the win. Bang!
Just getting to see him perform all the time and learning about his mentality and how he approached his work, you can really translate that to anything and how you approach life. And it's really centered around kind of hard work and competing against yourself, looking to always get better as an individual and not worrying too much about kind of who people are comparing you against. So that's really what embodies the Mamba mentality, and it's just something that I kind of really gravitated towards.
So what excites you the most about the future?
I think, well, as we've talked about, this opportunity in the Vicuña district is something that's really going to transform Lundin Mining and really elevate us from where we are today to, you know, hopefully a top 10 producer in the sector. But not only in terms of volume. I think what we're really chasing is value, and being able to do that in a meaningful way and create, you know, really build a new district and set a standard for how large-scale operations need to be developed and ultimately operated. It's an exciting opportunity for us.
What do you think Dad would say about the plan?
I think he would say good work on what we've done so far, but we're just getting going. So it's, you know, got to stay humble and stay focused on what's ahead.
Jack Lundin has an ambitious growth strategy for one of the world's most valuable copper districts, the Vuna district in South America. With the recent acquisition of Filo and a strong partnership with BHP, Lundin Mining is positioning itself for continued success as a global copper leader. And as Jack tells me, the future is bright for this company under his stewardship, grounded in a rich family legacy and forward-thinking leadership. Stay tuned for more insights from global leaders shaping the future of business. This has been a Money Moves exclusive. I'm Michael Hainsworth.